Ladies and gentlemen, all rise for the RankKing's court.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Tuesday, which means only one thing, another RankKing's court. We are here, as always, with the lovely cast that we have here today of Vo and Greg, and we also have a special guest on set for tonight's topic. Everyone, please welcome good old Jared.
Welcome, Jared.
Thank you for having me. Also, free Young Mayo before anyone gets
Young
to
Mayo
free
did nothing wrong.
Let him out.
Did nothing wrong.
Let him out.
Oh, we got a wonderful topic to get into tonight, boys, but we got to get some things cleared first. Number one, what am I drinking tonight? Thank you, everyone, for asking. The answer
No one did.
is the exponential hoppiness.
Oh.
This is a triple IPA. This is a 11%. I should have checked the alcohol percentage before I took it out, but it is a wonderful little Einstein-looking beer. So we're gonna crack this real quick.
There you go. While you do that, the chat's
like,
going crazy right now.
oh, is it?
Yeah, Deke redeemed karaoke time to sing Fall Out Boy. But Deke knows that we don't do karaoke on this. They're more impressions, right?
Yeah,
that's not.
Which I'll just do an impression of Fall Out Boy, but I need to, get into my feels real quick. Hold on.
Give me a Patrick Stump impression.
Oh God. Ooh, yeah, that's heavy. Ooh.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun show.
Ooh. We're also rolling with, because I hate myself. We are doing a seltzer review. And we are doing a Bud Light Seltzer Sour.
You're doing that right now too?
Oh yeah.
Since when did RankKing's Court become a seltzer review show?
Since the king enjoys some sours. So, cheers. Wow, actually, that calmed a lot of what happened just now. That calmed the storm
It's pretty good there.
Is that what happened? A storm basically just kind of exploded in your mouth, is what you're saying?
You know what? It's not Lucky Charms storm, but it's something. It's crazy. All them marshmallow feeling. Woo! So, do an impression of someone who drank an IPD before damn. Ay. Oh my gosh. I'm going to do the Patrick Stump one where simply it goes a little something like dance. There you go.
That was great, I guess.
Oh,
Chip says his money is on swearing going up tonight. I'd say if you drink both of those beers, yeah, definitely.
Oh, we'll take it the over-under maybe of swear words. I'm setting it maybe at 2 or 3. We're going to go 3 maybe to take the over-under on 3 swear words tonight, depending on how we do. But yes. So where are we? Oh, I guess. Well, where is Vo located? I'm so used to saying where are you two located, but Greg obviously not in the studio. Jared's location unaware, and I am back on my couch. So where are you?
It's a miracle. Yeah. It's a miracle.
Well, tonight I and the RankKing's Court is located live today from Union Fitness Studios, located on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. Union Fitness is more than a traditional gym. It is a place where you can transform yourself inside and out with a variety of classes based around fitness, yoga, strength, and performance training. At Union Fitness, they believe that it is their duty to hold themselves and their clients to a higher standard. They practice what they preach and uphold the values that make Union Fitness the community that it is. Go to unionfitness.com today to sign up for a consultation. Through Union, there's strength.
We're a little late on that, Greg. You're a little
It's a
late.
little laggy because he's
I'm
not in
laggy.
studio.
That is my fault. Yeah, I had to work late tonight. That's why I'm not in the studio. So it's no big deal. Just my fault on that one. So,
That's understandable, but so we got a lot of Yo, Yoder, what's up? What is that mixtape dropping for Young Mayo? You know what? Whatever it is, man, I don't know. For those of you guys that don't, you know what? No, I'm gonna keep it mysterious. I'm gonna let them imagine who Young Mayo is, Jared, because that's hilarious. That's funny. So tonight's topic, something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I've written countless articles on them. I've been to 4 shows in total, I believe. And if I was crazy enough, I would
You're
go
slacking.
see them. What?
You're slacking.
Slacking, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what you would call it. Like the first time I saw them was a 2-hour drive to Cleveland. I guess that's slacking, but that's okay.
You've only been to 4 shows. That's slacking.
For them, let's not go crazy.
That kind of is
here.
slacking. I think I've been to 4
It is.
Hypergirl shows,
Shut
and
up,
they've
though.
been around like way less than who we're talking about tonight.
So,
Yeah.
for tonight's topic, a band that Jared and I love, along with many others. And if I was crazy enough, I would drive down to the When We Were Young festival and see them in Vegas. But that's just too much.
See them in every band ever imaginable.
It's not
Right.
even down. It's literally over. Austin, you live in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Why would you
I'd say
drive
it's
anyway?
fine.
There's these things called airports and planes and all that.
That's very true. You
Yeah.
know. But tonight we are talking all things Dance Gavin Dance. A band that is my all-time favorite. It's funny because the rate of this beer that I'm drinking right now of both, I would say that the seltzer reminds me a lot of Tillian, whereas the exponential hoppiness reminds me a lot of John. The vocalists always flow in weird ways that just mash right, and somehow it ends up a spectacular masterpiece. Like I said, I've seen them 4 times. The one time was recently at where was it, Jared? Or Vo. It was at
Stage
There's one
eight.
where-
AE.
Stage A. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
How do
Outside
I know
show.
this before you
Outside
guys?
show
Jeez.
for the first time.
And he considers himself a fan.
Wait, that was the
Uh,
first time you saw him outside?
Yeah, that was the first time the outside show at Stage AE.
Oh, okay.
So that was an experience on its own, right? But yes, sadly, John didn't perform that night, I think, due to COVID issues.
Mhm.
But it was a wonderful, wonderful experience to just see them live. And they are working on another album, which is insane. They have 9 total albums, 1 EP, and a whole bunch of live albums. And they've been around, I want to say, since I was in middle school. So yeah, so it's insane how they just keep flourishing. It's a post-hardcore assembly line of just wonderful tracks that we've gotten, and multiple vocalists, which we'll get into in a hot second for a little debate later. But yes, Yoder, since 06. Yoder, also a passionate DGD fan, along with some other people that are tuning in. I love this band. Like I said, I've written probably like 4 articles on them that you can find on our website at thoughtsfromthebench.com.
Can confirm.
Can confirm. Jared, before we get into the rankings, like tell us how you got into DGD, because it seems like everybody gets into the band differently, or it starts in some realm and finds their way to happiness. What exactly started your DGD kick?
Well, I started off not liking them. Fun fact of the day. And then Austin said, you gotta listen to a song called Son of a Robot. And I was like, Austin. And then it took off from there, and I was like, "Fuck that album! Let me start with Mothership," and then fell in love with that, and then went back and started everything from the beginning. But that was really it. It was a hatred, and then Austin saying, "Just try this one." And I was like, "All right, I'll give it a shot." Yeah. And then from then on out, the rest is history.
That's crazy how I never even remembered that. I didn't even remember you saying that you hated them, and I love for the fact that I got you back on track with them because they are my bread and butter. No, it's not we buttered the bread with butter, but it's better. So, good old German deathcore band humor. So, let's get into it because this is going to be a weird first radical ranking. I hope you got all this down because I put a lot into.
Some of the lyrics I only did half.
That's fine. So I'll explain in a little bit, but let's hit off for radical ranking number 1. The first radical ranking, boys, is a very interesting one. For those that don't know, Dance Gavin Dance is, like I said, a very slumberum of just wonderful, wonderful lyrics by Tillian and some of the weirdest sentences that have ever come out of a human being's mouth in a song in one John Mess.
Didn't you just say slumberum? Is that a word?
Yeah, I just invented a word. It's there, Greg.
You invented it.
I mean, you did just say that DGD is basically just a mishmash of all these different words, so I guess it does make sense in this case. But
Hey, Austin, Chip asked if Jared's a friend of Austin's. Is that another friend we're adding to the list?
It is.
So like 3 friends, 4 friends now.
I didn't realize this list was growing out of nowhere. I don't know how this happened.
It's a list that's there. You guys have just never seen these people, so it's hard to imagine something that.
So it's an invisible list, is what
Austin
you're saying.
puts an ad on Craigslist. He's like, "Hey, I have this show. You guys want to be on it? You can be my friend. You can be my friend for the night."
Aha! I see what you did there. So, the first radical ranking are going to be the top John Mess lyrics. These are actual lyrics from songs from Dance Gavin Dance that are out of this world crazy. I love to think that the songs always kind of have a peaceful melody, and then I imagine John jumping in like he's high off cocaine, just absolutely slaughtering infidels. Like, that's literally just how it is for this particular thing. It's just it.
Have you ever thought about that before, bud? Being high on cocaine and slumbering and slaughtering infidels?
Not that I imagine. I'm assuming that's what he does, though. I mean, he's a weird person. Like, I mean, he's a great, but he's a weird person. So let's get into it. The first lyric, I can't believe this. I'm a fetus. I'm a baby boy.
You don't hear that every day.
No, you don't.
John's lyrics are some of the most eccentric of the type, and when I say these, it just fits. Like, if John didn't put these lyrics in this way, Dance Gavin Dance would not be Dance Gavin Dance of what it is today. It's just how it is, and it's strange, right? It's strange that you go from, like, peaceful, calming lyrics and a brilliant, elegant voice of Tillian to just this thrash, hardcore, no holds barred of just word slaughter that John Mess brings. So yes, number 5, I can't believe this. I'm a baby boy.
Hey,
and
Austin, before you continue, did you see what Grind Project wants an impression of?
I did not see that. Impression of Vo cocaine.
I would love to hear that, actually. I imagine it would be very tame, though, because I can't imagine it would be as over the top.
We want Fall Out Boy, says Derek. Well, you chose the wrong show, fella.
Wow.
So I guess my impression. What? Where's what? We got a show to do. The stuff's not set up. How do we get this? Where is it? I don't know. Where's his crown? He's not wearing it. Where? What? How? Who? Where?
I guess. Yeah, I guess that's good. Dequan's
Yeah,
impression of you doing yourself.
In the world. Hi, everybody. My name is Austin. My impression. Let's move on to the second lyric. Of course, all these photos of John are just his personality. They're just hilarious. And if you've ever seen Dance Gavin Dance's music videos, they completely fit John's writing style because they are chaotic, ridiculously chaotic. Let's hit number 4. Remember when you tried to kiss her, but she was gay and liked your sister.
That cuts deep.
And they're not supposed to. They like this one, especially from their song Lyrics Lie, which was on the Afterburner album, which was their last album. The music video itself is I want to say a street artist, and he takes this wall just on the side of the road and paints the Afterburner album from just memory. And it is absolutely insane. It is to the T accurate.
That's crazy because I can't even do like finger painting.
No,
I could never paint in elementary school. Like I was terrible. So I can't.
Yeah,
imagine
we like to think we can all be artistic, but we all just can't be. This next one is a little bit of cheating because it's not particularly from Dance Gavin Dance. It is from their side project, Secret Band, which is essentially Dance Gavin Dance, but without Tillian. So it's cheating, but this is a top 10 John Mess lyrics and not John Mess Dance Gavin Dance lyrics.
Look at you trying to circumvent the rules on that.
Oh, that comment coming in from JP Rocop 02.
Jay Prokop, brother. Hell yeah.
Hey!
He said, Austin, you got to sing the lyrics like Mess would. That's a good idea.
See, that's not because not the biggest screamer anymore. I like to think I am, but I just am not. And I definitely would not think this would be singing as much as just chaotic yelling, which I feel
you don't have the pipes for it.
I don't know about that. I feel like I would frighten our audience, and I don't want to do that. So this next one is interesting. This is from Secret Band. I ain't no fool. I cook the chicken nuggets in the oven, and they taste so good.
I mean, we've all been there.
Actual lyric. Like I can't.
He's
I
not.
can't
He's
make
not
this
wrong.
Up, man.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
That's something you don't microwave. I will throw that
Yeah.
out there.
Well, I would say,
Good on you. Also, Austin, I think it'd be pretty fair to say that you already scare our audience a lot with some of your rankings that you come up with. Just pointing that out there. So I feel like you screaming isn't going to terrify them that much.
slightly. I think that's a dig, but I'm going to ignore that.
Can you scream number 1 when we get there?
No. Yeah, he's just an interesting man, and I literally this next one. Greg, I know how much you love cats and how much I love cats.
I adore them. What can I say?
So this is an actual lyric. I couldn't wait to tap into the brain of my cat and let him know he's my little baby meow meow boo.
Huh.
It's insane. It's amazing. I know everyone's like, why is this band successful just from hearing these lyrics? You gotta listen to them. You know.
You think he attempted to do that?
I don't think John goes into a writing process at all. I think he goes in and says the first thing that comes off in the top of his head.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
He doesn't think. I could see that.
I would think so. Jared, you got audio, buddy? I don't know if I heard.
Oh
you.
yeah, brother.
Oh yeah, you're here. All right. I'm making sure. but yeah, that's a strange one that I didn't even realize existed, and I looked it up and I said, this isn't real. Like, this is no. Like, and yeah, it is. And finally, at our number one, what I believe is the most iconic of the John Mess insane of lyrics. This comes to us from the song of Mothership, Chucky versus the Giant Tortoise, riding a rhino, Pico de Gallo.
That is an interesting lyric.
It's an actual listen, and you laugh, but people, when it's the song, they stop and scream all of it, like fully. You can hear it from everybody around you, and that goes to show you that, is it weird? Yes, but weird is what drives this band. You know, they don't operate as much as what a normal band would. That's it's because, like I said, like Yoder said, 2006, and they are about to record their 10th album. That's absolutely insanity.
With lyrics
Personally,
like this.
I think it just speaks to the power of how much Pico de Gallo just smacks.
Honestly, like, I want to know what it's like to ride a rhino eating Pico de Gallo. I think I don't know if there's chips involved. I think it's just eating Pico de Gallo out of hand.
Maybe the Pico de Gallo is just like floating in the air and stuff, and as you're riding the rhino,
Yeah, the
you
rhino's
just have
like
your mouth
jumping in
wide
the
open.
air, and you're on there grabbing
Right,
it.
and you just have to like essentially
Exactly.
as you're going.
Like a little video game, you know, it's like Mario riding Yoshi, which, you know, if you watch shows in the past, Yoshi confirmed dinosaur. Top 10 dinosaur list, Yoshi was a dinosaur that y'all.
We did
But
confirm the chat.
Reptar was not on there.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I mean
matter.
dinosaurs do poop eggs, so therefore Yoshi is a dinosaur. We did confirm.
I love the picture. It just proves how funny John Mess can be without trying to be funny, and it just speaks word. He's just like, I wrote that lyric. That's right, I did that. But yes, John Mess, absolute insanity. I wish that we could have seen him in the show, though. I really do, because that was, I believe, your first time seeing him, correct?
Yeah, because I was like Jared. I wasn't a fan at first. Morgan got me to listen to them, and now I appreciate them more. I do listen to them on my own, so slowly becoming a fan.
When I was questioning Morgan's existence at the time.
Yeah, that was the first time you met her, right?
First time I met her in person. So, oh, man. Yeah, those are the top John Mess lyrics. Now, let's get into something that we can actually discuss and debate about for Radical Ranking number 2. Alrighty, everybody. I'm trying to read these comments because Yoder's is like legit. There's like 4 blanks, which means it's probably a terrible lyric.
I think it is a lyric. Yeah, I'm not sure. It says a blank wide that towers high is blank at your feet.
Oh, God.
The story's old. The blank full of cancer spreading meat.
Oh, so
it do be saying a penis wide that's towers high is coming at your feet. The story's old. The butthole's full of cancer spreading meat.
Yeah. A John Mess lyric to its absolute T.
Austin, how many of these lyrics did you have to disqualify because you didn't want to get in trouble with having
a lot?
That's what I figured.
A lot. Because I didn't want to. I thought to myself, if I say this, it technically counts. So when I was going through, I was like, man, I can't use like 6 of these. Like this, I was like, dang. But something that we can actually talk about and digest, especially with Jared and I, the top Dance Gavin Dance albums. I actually wrote an article on this a while ago. It's still getting views, just to how
confirm.
Amazing it is. I did tweak it. I wanted to.
It doesn't count if you look at it every day.
I don't look at it, though.
Every other day.
Every month.
Swine, all of you. The top DGD albums. Like I said, there are 9 with an EP. There's just so much variety that goes into every single record. And being that they've had 3 different vocalists alone is insane. So there's chaos, obviously, in the air, and that translates into some of the most creative yet hardcore music that just makes people also just want to groove. You know, we talked about, fun fact, Jared's nickname Gary, had Groovy Gary on last week for his great debate take. He's a groovy guy. You know, he should be there more often.
He was groovy. He was pretty nice too.
What, you saying I'm not nice? Is that it?
Sometimes.
Saying I'm not nice? Hi, hi, hi. Top DGD albums. Let's get into it. Number 5, Artificial Selection. This was a interesting take because seemingly this is where, you know, if you weren't a true Dance Gavin Dance fan, this is when some of the people kind of branched off of it for a little bit. But Artificial Selection brings some of the most interesting tracks to play. Jared, your thoughts on Artificial Selection being at number 5?
Fair.
Fair?
Very fair. Yeah. There's a lot of songs that people don't give a lot of credit to, such as Slouch.
Yeah, there's a Slouches is one of the most interesting tracks because it starts off with one of the most, I'm going to say one of the most hardcore bass lines I think that I've heard in a very long time. Like, a lot of people don't give bassists credit, you know, essentially. Tim flourishes on Slouch with this album. It's amazing. And honestly, when people talk about bassists, the only one that I can really essentially give credit to, aside from, you know, Green Day's bassist, since I saw him live, is Mudvayne's bassist, because he literally taps the whole time that he does with the bass.
Slaps the bass.
Slap at the bass. But yes, Artificial Selection brings to us some very softer tracks, such as Care, Count Basie, and interesting ones like Midnight Crusade, which I saw the music video. John Mess is essentially programmed as a robot, and he's meant to do like humane tasks, and he screws them up. Like he was like trying to pour coffee, and he just like threw it in the one guy's face, and he was just like, like it's funny. They have fun when they do these tracks. Artificial Selection at number 5. Let's get to number 4. One that I didn't give a lot of credit to, but I've grown more in recent years as of listening to it. Downtown Battle Mountain 2. I know Jared's giving me a look here. He's like, I know it's your bread and butter. I know that album speaks to heart. Touch on Downtown Battle Mountain 2 for us, Jared.
Well, first off, Johnny Craig. We're just gonna toss that out there. He leads off with his beautifully angelic voice and leads it right through the whole shebang. There's hard hitters in there. I don't know. I fell in love with that one righteously quick. I personally didn't know you were ranking albums, right? I've come up with a whole top 5 controversial ones just to chap your ass. But I have this, but legit, yeah, I have this about 1 or 2 back and forth that is tied between one other one. But so little hurt.
It's so when I was going through my the discography of Dance Gavin Dance with this one, there were a lot of hitters, at least for me, but something, I don't know what it was, but at the time something felt like it was missing. And I don't know, it came back because the band had this thing where Johnny started off and then both Johnny and John left. And then Kurt Travis took over with Will Swan, the guitarist, doing the screams for a couple in Happiness. And then they brought both of them back for Downtown Battle Mountain 2. And you could tell that the fandom was happy that it happened. It took me a little bit more to get into it, but it's right there for me at number 4. Number 3, This is a hard one for me because on my article, this was number 2 at the time. Number 3 is their latest, is Afterburner.
May I ask why the hell you thought that was a smart idea?
For putting it in the middle?
In general.
Ooh.
So you're saying, okay, so I get what you're saying. So when I did my scoring scale, I believe that I started off with I don't know if it was a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10, and I went up 0.5 from there. And this one, I tell you, man, the first time it dropped, I listened to it in a row, I don't know how many times. I want to say like double-digit times, because it felt like I was getting back into my Dance Gavin Dance fandom. I was getting back into what drove me to appreciate. I mean, there's a song in Spanish on this album that's interesting. Contemplamiento Global, I believe it's called.
Sound like a white woman at a Mexican restaurant ordering and saying gracias.
There's a song on this album by including one of my favorite artists now at the time, Bill Murray, who was the quote unquote, he was the clean vocals of Attack Attack, and then broke off and did his own electronic style thing. Still listen to him today. He's amazing. And Into the Sunset with him was phenomenal. One of my favorite songs of all time, Parody Catharsis, is on this album. It's so heavy hitter with John putting the vocals directly, almost like he's screaming them right in your face. You have songs like Prisoner. It hits you, man. It hits you. And I understand why people didn't appreciate this at first, but it is sitting there for me at number 3. I assume it wouldn't be on your top 5, Jared.
No, not whatsoever. I would also agree with the big homie Jutton. If you're paying attention to comments here, Otten, which apparently you ain't. Big homie Sam asked how we felt about callbacks to older songs and Evaporate. Looked up the lyrics, didn't see it. Anyway, Jutton says, why is Afterburner even on the list as well? We all know Jutton.
Listen, I feel a strong sense of resemblance to it. I don't know what, but it feels like sometimes it could be the forgotten album, but when you listen to it in the right mood, it absolutely slaughters all of the problems that you have in your life. So Afterburner for me at number 3. Number 2. This was originally my number 3. Like I said, this went back and forth between my list and what I have now. Number 2 is the original Downtown Battle Mountain. Johnny Craig's absolute gorgeous vocals play a pivotal part in this album, going back and forth with the original reason I didn't listen to this album right away is that John's screams kind of felt more productive in the later albums than they did originally. And maybe that's just product placement. Maybe that's just tuning. I don't know what it is, but it seemed to rattle off the chains at first on this album. But I graciously sat down and gave this to another listen to. And man, bangers galore on this thing, because it is absolutely insane. I would list some songs off, but like I said, we have something a little bit later that maybe I'll get into and touch base on. It's a gorgeous album. One, Johnny Craig leading the reins. Jared, give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree with it. There's not one that misses there. Yeah, I'll take your side on this one.
I like to think so.
He doesn't usually get people to take his side, so this is a big step for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this was about number 2 or not, but Jay said, I wish I could forget about it. And then Gary said, just like my ex-wife forgot about me.
Oh, Yoder. You kill me, man. I want to go to another DGD show with you, Yoder. I really do, because that was so much fun that we went to the last time. And number 1, I can't fault this. I will state this, that this is probably in my top 10 albums of all time, of just how gracious yet brutal it is. It is a 10 out of 10, no skips remotely on this album. This is Mothership. It has, like I said, every single track I can listen to and think it's a banger, whether it tries to be or not. I even remotely tried to skip a song on this and I couldn't. Like I went to and I was like, no.
You're like
I'm
to press the button, it just won't happen.
Can't do it.
Gary
like,
said you guys never went together.
We never went together, but
just
we
like
saw
his ex-wife and him.
Aww.
He was actually at that show at Stage AE.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I don't remember. That
Yeah.
was a long time ago.
Once
I was soaking in the music.
Enjoying. He was.
I was
vibing.
outside.
Yeah.
But when a lot of people talk Dance Gavin Dance, a lot of people will want a recommendation of an album. I 100% full-heartedly believe that this should be the first one that people should listen to, because it will want them craving more and more Dance Gavin Dance. There's just not a single track that I could honestly recommend well enough off this project. We actually, I think, did a back when our co-ex producer and everything, that we did a album review. We did an album review of Afterburner, but when we did that, what was that side project show? Do you guys remember that Josh that he talked about?
Yeah.
It was Headphone Hideaway. Headphone Hideaway. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
I talked
I thought
about
it was
this
something
album,
else.
and believe me, it was absolutely gorgeous. I will recommend this album to the end of time. So, Jared, do you agree? Do you disagree? Like,
Wholeheartedly agree from track 1 through the end. It doesn't skip. You can't skip it. If you try to hit skip, your phone will shut off because it knows you're wrong. And
Plays it over again.
it does. It does. It makes you resubscribe to, Apple Music, or, makes you pay premium for Spotify. It doesn't let you skip it.
of course, some other albums that didn't make the cut. I wanted to put Happiness on here because, as much as people don't give Kurt Travis enough credit, that was probably one of the more groovy albums of Dance Gavin Dance that we got, and I full-heartedly appreciated. The song Tree Village, fun fact, was the first ever Dance Gavin Dance song I ever listened to. And I remember this because I put it on on-demand music. When people actually used on-demand, I went into the music section because my friend was like, you got to check out this band. And I said, okay, fine. And I clicked on it and I was blown away. I said, the scenery is crazy. It's colorful. It's in your face. And I was with Will Swan screaming. This wasn't even with John Mess. So I was hooked right away with everything that was happening. And I have not looked back since.
Bravo. That was impressive.
Jared, do you think an album should have made this cut that didn't?
I would say Acceptance Speech.
See, this is what a lot of people, because Acceptance Speech was Tillian's first album that he did. And a lot of people gave it a lot of hate because, when you transition from Johnny Craig or Kurt Travis and you have a guy come in with a vocal range that's so different than any of the other two. That was also, I think, one of the most, heavily produced records, that they did, because they really didn't know how to range Tillian's vocal cords at the time. But now with, obviously Tillian helping on production with all his stuff, it works well. A song that, I always loved from that particular album, Death of the Robot with Human Hair, is by far one of the ones that heavily slapped for me. For those that don't know, Dance Gavin Dance has a thing that they have with this particular robot, and they've built a storyline for him. They actually released a comic series based on this robot. Like, there's a lot that goes into Dance Gavin Dance besides music, and that is one of them, because they created a character and they have multiple videos of just what the robot is doing. They have, the robot with human hair parts 1 through 5, maybe 4, and I think there's one with like 2.5 in there. They also have a fixation with putting songs that have strawberry in it, which I absolutely enjoy.
Is the robot's name Gavin?
No, surprisingly, we didn't know what Gavin was at the time, but they came out that on the Afterburner album, the bull in the center they depicted as Gavin.
Oh, okay.
So it was interesting, to say the least, that they kind of went with that direction of the character. I would have loved that the robot's name was Gavin, but sadly,
would make so much sense too.
In a video, he actually danced, so it could have been.
See?
But all things considered, let's get into an interesting, what I believe, great debate. The great debate follows as such, voice. Who is the best vocalist of Dance Gavin Dance? There are 3. There is Tillian, there is Johnny, and there is Kurt. 3 vocalists that paved the way. You could argue a 4th, but I'm going to leave that to rest, to say the least. But there are 3. And Grind Project, if you haven't already, you know the drill. Put out the order. Let's get it going.
Did you just snap your fingers telling him to do something? What's wrong with you, man?
Always.
Steph wants to know if you messed up the ranking at all.
Well, she said something a little nastier, but I appreciate you saying it, and that, you don't want
cleaning it up a little bit.
You don't want to pay. So.
I mean, I can do
Exactly.
the cursing if you need me to get it.
Well,
done.
yeah, you're kind of our translator, so.
Yeah, Austin, she said, "Did you fuck it up?" And this wise man said he fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
And she did be saying per usual, as you do be fucking shit up. Per usual.
That is true. Steph is a very harsh critic of his.
But the order was placed in, so the draft order will be Jared, Vo, myself, and then Greg. So, Jared, you have the right of way. Please tell us and explain who the best vocalist of Dance Gavin Dance is and why.
So we can just pretend Kurt Travis was never. We can just take those 2. He has, one song that anyone even likes off of their self-titled album, Dance Gavin Dance. Listen, Austin,
I like
hot
Kurt.
take.
I like Kurt.
Is there any way you can kick Austin off his own show? Cause
Yeah, I can just mute him.
I like
him liking him is a hot take, and we don't need that in our lives right now.
Jared, you can pick him if you want, by all means. Like, your choice.
Stop it.
See, here's the thing, Austin. Right? They had Johnny. He won everyone over. He left. They went to shit. Johnny came back like, oh, thank Jesus. And then Johnny's like, might drop him out. Then he left. And Tillian's like, but he did support Tillian at Bamboozle with their one live album at Bamboozle. He got Tillian really involved. So it was a nice transition into that. But I have to say, I don't know. But Johnny and Tillian are different. But I'm going Johnny then Tillian, and then Kurt Travis is scrubbing the shitters.
There was a live. I believe it's the one you're talking about, but it's the live
at Bamboozle.
Where all 3 vocalists are on stage, doing a song together, in different vocals, which is absolutely insane.
That's pretty cool.
Every single part of it, and honestly, a lot of people wrote Johnny off because of his issues that he had within. Everyone always loves to say with the post-hardcore genre that, oh, if you had a band, Johnny Craig was most likely in it. So, it's terrible to say, but I mean, you can't argue success. Like, Johnny literally brought success to every single group that he was in. So I can't fault you with that, Jared, honestly. I loved what Craig did with his albums, and you even went on record to listen to some of his solo stuff.
Yeah, and then when he went to Amorosa and did that and left, and then went to Slaves, which is now Rain City Drive, he did that. Great albums there. Left, had to replace, and even there's debates followed dude on TikTok, and they're like, did this new dude replace Johnny well? And you can't really match that. You can try. I'm not always the Johnny Stan guy, but you know, his vocals are hard to match and compete with. And I mean, he just dropped 2 new acoustic ones. I mean, you know, I got them all.
I don't fault it, man. I mean, like I said, he's brought success to anything that he's done. It's just that his issues have, you know, had times where he hasn't been able to, you know, focus so much on what it was. But incredible singer. I know Johnny, God forbid if you're watching, you know, I love.
Yeah,
love
Johnny's watching.
Hey,
Listen,
I don't know.
The video will circulate, bud. It'll circulate somehow.
Hey, that's fine. Atilian just didn't, to me, have not enough. Didn't have tremendous success as a solo artist as well. Like even with Factory Reset or the one prior. Just seemed like he was trying real hard.
So getting into some of the comments here, Morgan, yikes, baby boy, please don't mess this up. No pun intended. Not my poppy says mic drop or Mac drop. And then Miss Morgan goes on record and says Emarosa, slaves, drugs, impossible. So I get it, man. I really do. Moving on, Vo.
So I'm going to piggyback off of what Jared said, and I'm going to go Johnny Craig. I know he might not be the greatest human out there, but his voice is amazing. I heard a song called Devils that he was featured in, and through that I looked him up, saw his solo stuff, heard his solo stuff, and then I didn't even know he was in Dance Gavin Dance till Morgan told me, because like I said, I just recently started listening to them, so I'm piggybacking off Jared's pick right there for Johnny Craig.
It happens. I get it.
Does that hurt your feelings?
What?
Does it hurt your feelings?
No, it doesn't. Like I'm just reading Grind Project's comics. He seems to believe I skipped over him. But I mean, if you were the true king,
you did skip that comment.
But I'm just saying, if you were the true king, you would know that, you know, sometimes you pay attention to some comments, and sometimes you realize some comments are worth your time. So
you also kind of called him a monkey, technically. So
what
I
did
say
I?
dance. You did kind of say like dance monkey.
When you
dance,
snapped at him?
something. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, Seth
Yeah.
makes a good point. Johnny Craig is like Ronnie Radke, absolute garbage human, but man's got bops.
So that's it's kind of what a comparison I was going to be, especially with, I guess, Ronnie's status right now for his song Zombified that came out of like
Good song.
Woo!
Great song.
Of
Great
everything
video
else.
too. Did you watch the video for that?
I did not watch the video.
It's
I
good
saw
video.
it was a zombie. I mean, he's known for the theatrics, right? I mean, like when I listened to Popular Monster, and it was by far it's an amazing song. And he just transforms into a werewolf and just slaughters all these like soldiers. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, that's Roddy. That's fine. Like that's that's right up his alley. But it's right. I mean, like they got all the talent of the world, but like not necessarily the best human qualities. But as people, we learn and we have second chances and we follow through it. And I am up, and I know I'm gonna stray away. I know
He's picking Kurt.
Pick Kurt,
He's picking
I'm not
Kurt.
picking Kurt. I'm not picking Kurt.
Actually, for the Instagram quiz, I don't know if you saw, I threw Vic from Pierceville. And
Yeah. Did
some
somebody?
some people did pick him. A couple people
I-
did.
That's disheartening a little bit, just a little
Was
bit.
Denny one of them?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I can check, but
I love to
continue.
give Denny. I love to give Denny a hard credit. Steph, dude's mad. People won't let him forget he's a felon. Dude body shamed at TikTok.
Not
for
wrong.
calling him the goober.
Not wrong.
That's also. And Justin, I'm not saying Kurt. Everyone stop. First of all, Kurt's not the best vocalist, but stop giving Kurt so much hate, please. He's good. He's good. He really is. And you know, if you haven't checked out his actual like band that he's doing now with Royal Coda, absolute banger of a group. Love them to death. And you know, a so uncalled Swancore side project with Will Swan. It's just absolutely insane. Check those guys out if you haven't. But I am going with Tillian here, specifically because he brought a new, refreshing style that nobody really thought that Dance Gavin Dance could reach. The vocal range on this man is absolutely insane, to the point where Anthony Fantano is calling his voice commercial because he believed that all of his vocal parts that are put in are computerized, and they're not. And he called him out for it because of how much of, that so-called music nerd that he is. He literally went to Instagram and was like, this dude really believes that all my stuff is by computer, and it's not. So for him to do that, and for him to think that it's computerized, just shows you how much of an insane vocalist Tillian actually is. And I'm not going to fault it. He does a body roll every single show. Gets you right in the feels. I saw him.
Bricked up.
Bricked up. Bricked up. He was coming actually from Purgatory. He got some kind of food from Purgatory, and everyone's like,
probably a burger.
Tillian. Probably a burger. I mean,
good guess.
Yes.
Good guess.
People might get chicken sandwich. I don't know.
Great milkshakes, just saying.
Great milkshakes. But yes, Acceptance Speech literally was a little bit of a hard take with Instant Gratification. Those two albums kind of maybe they have amazing slappers on there, but kind of rub people the wrong way going from Johnny Craig. But the latest albums, I think, have brought people back that sense of a Tillian-led Dance Gavin Dance, and they slap every time. So I'm going with Tillian. Which leaves you, Greg.
So just to be clear, I don't have a dog in this race between the two because I'm not a big DGD guy. Just throwing that out there. I was going to say Johnny Craig just because he's the OG. But Austin, I'm going to be honest with you. You convinced me to go Tillian. Simply for the fact that he got called out for saying that that's not his real voice and it actually is. That's impressive. Just throwing that out there.
He does have a good
I'm gonna
voice.
say Tillian.
Yeah,
I'm going to say Tillian just because.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Johnny's voice live, killer. I've heard Tillian live. It just, I don't know.
They're both great in retrospects. I want to say this, they have a different rasp of a voice. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but Johnny's vocal rasp is very kind of like John's without screaming. It's in your face, but it's beautifully elegant. Whereas Tillian's, it's off the walls of every single part of vocal range that you can absolutely fathom. The song that I'm going to mention later has one of the most beautiful lines of vocals that I've ever heard from a human being in a song, and that is saying a lot. I wanted to joke that the lead singer of Idola, Andrew Wells, is the unofficial kind of sixth member of the band. When stuff was going haywire, he was on Artificial Selection. They brought him along as kind of the backing guitar and vocals, and plays a big part in a lot of his stuff that he brought to. But when stuff was going crazy with COVID, Andrew stepped in and became kind of another vocalist of the group, which can't say it enough. So I would throw him in there, but I know that, if I was ranking, it would probably go Tillian, Johnny, Kurt, and Andrew, just because they haven't officially recognized Andrew as a member of the band, which it'll come.
What about John Mess? Is he not a vocalist, or is he?
So John is a different category on its own. I should have said clean vocalist.
Okay.
Because John,
He's screamo.
Yeah. Well, yes. Because if people are always like, oh man, it's so screamo, going back to the middle school days with Broken Side and all that garbage. So that must be screamo. It's not. It's post-hardcore. Know your genres, people.
Screamo.
But I get it.
In fairness, there's a lot of genres. Just point that out there. So.
But yes, I thought that was an actual probably one of our better discussions, honestly, because Jared brought his case with Johnny, Vo piggybacked off that. I brought my case with Tillian. Greg piggybacked off that. So
works.
Now, if you haven't heard that song "Devils," look that up, featuring Johnny Craig. It's a good song.
I will. I've listened to a lot of Johnny Craig. I'm not gonna lie, he's good. He's really good. I just think that Tillian's got the style. So what I'm gonna do is gonna suck. We're gonna free Young Mayo.
Let him out.
Let him out. Do nothing wrong.
Why in the world would you double fist those, man?
That's a trip and a half. So now we are going to take a quick commercial break and be right back with our top 10 ranking of the evening. Stay tuned.
Let's dive right into sports, as I have strong opinions on that. Which college team could beat a professional team in the same sport right now?
Okay.
There is not a single answer that is better than the LSU Tigers defeating the Cincinnati Bengals.
Even if I know the pitch that's coming, every other part of me is still normal.
That's why it's frustrating for me, Greg.
It's like okay, if I know what something is coming, I know ahead of time. I still have to be able to do the action to get the result that I need.
Okay, so they won 3 games in 10 years with 3 rebuilds.
I don't lose at arguments. All right.
Especially about fast food. So yeah.
You will never walk alone. Guess what? Now you will. Coronavirus.
I barely touch my girlfriend's cat. The most I'd be willing to do is like just kind of put my finger on its forehead and just like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with us is Alex Kazor from Steelers Depot.
We are live with Ryan Smith, professional cornhole player in the ACL. Ryan,
What all franchises were you able to work with in the NHL?
With Phoenix, Carolina, and Detroit.
No.
So here is Moorhead's ranking. Moorhead is my cousin. He is the rank king.
Higher
Top 10 extra Power Rangers.
Oh.
Okay.
This is the top 10 emo songs of the 2000s.
There's only one correct answer for number 1. Why is F is for Family better than Futurama when Futurama is like Star Wars for potheads? Like
I know.
I'm
Well, I think
We have one or two that are mad in the chat.
you're welcome for that.
All right, we're gonna get banned.
Guys, it is time. The top 10 of the evening. Jared, how's this going to work? You're going to give your top 10, or you're going to give your 10. I'm going to give my 10, and then it's going to domino effect back and forth from there. So he texted me this last night, guys. I just want to let you know that he said he hated that the fact that I only gave him like 2 hours for this, which I told him that it had to be turned in by noon today.
Don't feel bad, bud. He does it to everyone.
Had to teach Youth of America, you know. Was up till good 12:30 last night, running it, playing all the songs. One of the viewers was asleep. Didn't help me at all. Sam.
I miss Sam. How's he doing? He's doing good?
Good. He do be the teriyaki poppy up in the group chat, you know.
Oh boy. It's just sorry, Dad. I wish that, you know, like the couple of us would just get together and just make a DGD cover group. I think that would be amazing.
I think you should do that.
I want to do that. I've been wanting to do that for a while.
But you have
Austin,
to have
you could be
Foreigner in
Kurt
the group.
Travis, so you could just watch them.
So I could just.
Foreigner has to be in the group or on stage at least.
Does
He's got to be
even
the hype
play?
man.
You know,
Does
he
the
raps.
hype
He raps. You can have some freestyle.
Well, he can
in
do
your
the Will
song.
Swan raps. There's Swan rap.
There you go.
on
Perfect.
Some of these tracks. So, you know, we could bring him in like every like once in a while. Be like, hey, come on, buddy. It's time to go on stage. You know, come on. But these are the top 10 Gavin dance songs. This was very hard. Like this was very hard. For just how much, I mean, each album kind of has the range of like, I want to say like 10 to 12 tracks on it. So you couple that there are 9 albums. This was hard. It's not as, I think the SpongeBob ranking still ranks as like the hardest ranking.
Oh,
of
that's
the
like
time.
that's like the elite of stuff. Like you
Yeah.
could make an entire top 10 of stuff you didn't pick. To be fair.
Right. So, but this ranges up there at least for me, and I know for Jared. So, let's do this. Let's get into it. Grind Project says he's writing an Austin diss right now. I would love to hear it.
Yeah.
I would love
support
to
it.
hear it.
Wow.
I would love to hear it before the end of the show if you think you got the stones for it.
I support it.
I was going to say, we can do it next week, to be fair.
Oh, I want it right now. If he says he's got it, if he's right, then I want it right now. So
Next week's episode, Austin's diss tracks.
All right, Jared, give us your number 10.
Number 10, I have Need Money from Downtown Battle Mountain 2.
I made it a point. I didn't look at his top 10 list at all. As soon as he said it, I deleted this text, or I sent it to Bo and then deleted it because I didn't want any part of like being spoiled.
That's fair. By
any of the tracks that he listed. I actually wanted to be surprised by his take. So yeah, from Downtown Battle Mountain 2, I Need Money. I recently actually just listened to I'm on nonstop for like the last week. I've been listening to this like To Dance Gavin Dance. I have a whole playlist on shuffle of all their songs. And this song came on as I was driving home from work today. And it is, I want to say kind of, quote me on this, Jared, it's theatrical, to say the least.
It is. It's groovy, and then if you listen to it, it has a nice funk hustle breakdown. But if you listen like songs after that, you hear the same kind of funk breakdown in those other songs too.
Exactly. So I can't fault you for putting that on there. I like that song. My number 10 actually comes from the same album, from Downtown Battle Mountain 2. For me, this is Pounce Bounce.
Pounce Bounce.
I mean, the guitar right away, like it gets you in, and then Johnny comes in, just absolutely like putting like a weird vocal, not scream, but just yell transition on this song. And the chorus of this is absolutely beautiful. Ranging from like it seems like wherever his vocal range goes, the instruments follow, because, you know, a lot of the times when that happens, the instruments are in the background. No, this thing follows like, you know, you are on drugs at like a festival and your heart's pounding like 150% and it is going up and down all the way. And I can't fault it. It's got to be on my list at number 10.
Can't say I've experienced that, Austin. Have you?
I can say that I haven't either. So
see, the problem with this is I don't know the names of the songs, so I would have to hear them to know what song you're talking about.
Well, this is so these last two you can find on Downtown Battle Mountain 2.
Perfect.
From the album. So, you know, if you got Spotify, I don't know if you were outside playing all those years that Spotify was invented, but you know, it's there.
I just held my little sonar gun up to the radio waves.
Austin, he's a real one and has Apple Music, so.
Oh, he's probably right. So, all right, Jared, number 9. What do you got?
I have Suspended in This Disaster.
All right, touch on that a little bit, because this is actually from Artificial Selection. So my number 5 album. Touch on it a little bit of why it's at number 9 for you.
So it went back and forth. I had cross-referenced my list with several other lists and top songs, and this was in none of them. It's a good intro for getting into DGD. It's very light the entire time, but also has some heavy hits. And shout out to the big homie Yeager if he's watching this. This do be his favorite song. But it's, I think it's rather heavy in lyrics in terms of like deeper, you know, meaningful lyrics. But it's a nice, light, easy listen for the first time listener.
For the intro, people getting into it. Yeah. I mean, I don't fault that. I want to think this was, I think, the 3rd song off Artificial Selection. So when I was listening to it originally, like I felt there was so much like passion and ordeal, and almost like you feel like a trauma in some sort of way that corresponded into lyricism that made me like, okay, this is it. This is the thing. They're coming for it. Like, and I want to say like Tillian carried, not want to say carry, because I feel like the other, you know, it says the other band members don't, but like John almost took a back seat to this one where Tillian like flourished in this one. So I 100% agree with you on there. So getting into my number 9, this is from Happiness. It is my all-time favorite track from when Kurt was the vocalist.
Who's Kurt?
Shut up.
Who? What? What? I drank a beer. What?
Number 9 for me is Carl Barker.
That's the name of a song?
It is the name of the song.
Okay.
Carl Barker starts off with just an incredible bass line from Tim that I love doing vocals with my mouth because it's just, it doesn't fit, but it like it almost sounds like almost like a video game in retrospect.
Kind of sounds like Jerry Seinfeld soundtrack.
What are you doing? Kramer, what's going on?
Does.
Kramer, what's going on? They're talking about D&GD, Jerry. the Seinfeld.
It's every episode. We just watched all that. So Morgan watched all of it. I watched some.
Have you seen like all the Jerry Seinfeld memes and everything that are popping up? Where it's like, what are they doing, Kramer?
I did see one the other day.
They were doing the one was like a. It was Thor Ragnarok, and they were the whatever came out of Asgard, and they were like, "Oh, they're destroying Asgard, Jerry." We got like damn hats and everything like it's just great. But Carl Barker just has a sense, and this is by far the best I think that you get Will Swan's screams on. Which you, like you said, it's only for like one album that you get like Will Swan screams, and they are phenomenal in this. Like the screams go hand in hand with every single like almost progression of music that is given, and I could not leave it off the list. It is by far my top song off the Happiness album, and I had to give it credit because I know nobody else would. So
that was nice of you.
I'd like to think so. But number 9 for me. Jared, you're number 8.
Chucky versus the Giant Tortoise.
What a title.
Yeah. Chucky versus the Giant Tortoise, lead off of Mothership, sets the tone for the entire album, 1 through done. All the more I need to say is White 21 is the maximum fun. You know, that's a statement for life right there.
So Chucky versus the Giant Tortoise not only was the leadoff song for that album, but for a lot of shows, it was the leadoff song for their set. And it gave people the retrospective of okay, we're not messing around. We're going right into it. And I will
get the people going, basically.
Exactly.
Right.
Will Ferrell gets the people going. I will donate bits to this because I cannot not say this lyric. Give me that canvas, let me paint some shit. Like that is like the first lyric that pops off. And you just like, as soon as that happens, everybody screams it. Everybody's into it. Like everybody's jumping around, not punching people, but you moshing, you get the drift, hardcore.
Throwing some elbows.
Yeah. Some bows,
dropping Greg on his head.
Yeah. Concussed. All that fun stuff, yeah.
But yeah, it is by far like it's not only a good leadoff song, as Jared said, it's a great song in general. So as I donate my 1 bit here, which I think this is only my 3rd time of doing it, by the way. So
that's not bad.
Yeah.
Look at you improving. I'm so proud of you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, but didn't you have like 3 in like 1 episode in the span of 5?
That was the same episode. You had 2 back to back. He had 2.
It was, yeah. I went on a rant and I didn't think of it, but
wait, so John's a painter?
Well, of lyricism, you like to think. I almost picture him as like just Picasso, like throwing anything that sticks and it just works. Like it
just has words everywhere, like the Charlie from It's Always Sunny meme. He's just like pulling words everywhere.
Look at this! Look at this! You don't even know what's there. The Nightman. Like it's just
exactly.
Absolute trash man. I eat trash. The trash man. I go through start eating all the garbage. God, I love Danny DeVito. I think someone posted recently on Twitter that they their dog reminded them of Danny DeVito for some reason. I put a picture of the trash man.
No, Morgan's saying John is a painter, actual painter.
Is he really?
Check his Instagram.
Oh,
she would know. She's a big
Can you
fan.
call yourself a fan?
I would love to see some of his work. I think it would be incredible.
He probably knows a shot.
My number 8 comes to us from the Mothership album. It is by far one of their heaviest, and I think it is and it also is one of their longest songs by far. This is Man of the Year. It is a retrospect. It starts off very soft, almost like someone's playing a harp, and Tillian's vocals are just kind of putting you to sleep. Not in a bad way by what I'm saying. Like, just putting you to sleep is like, you know, put
like
this
soothing
on.
you. It's soothing you in a way.
Yeah, I would love to say that it goes on for like, I want to say like a minute and a half of just maybe a minute of just instrumental and soothing vocals, and then John breaks out in one of the biggest breakdowns I think that I have ever heard, and his simple words are ride, crash, burn, and then it just goes into just of Matt doing the double bass. Just it starts, like I said, it's soothing, and then it's chaos. It's just like, picture this, like your oven is cooking a nice like casserole or something, and then all of a sudden the lights start flickering, the oven goes off, like there's smoke, there's fire everywhere. That's what this song is, and it flourishes in all the creative chaos, and then it ends again in just a beautiful melody of almost back and forth between John and Tillian, and it's just wonderful. My number 8. Jared, what do you got for number 7?
End of the Year.
Oh. Okay, so that's actually pretty good.
It's like, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, no, just share it for the same reason. It's a nice, soft intro. It hits hard, ends soft, leaves you shook. You're like, when they drop another one? And then this is where if you try to look up more songs, you're like, shit, no, we got to replay the entire album again and again and again. It's just...
I want to say, if people want to experience the greatness of this song, Gavin Dance did a live show, I want to believe. I can't remember the bridge, but it was from their hometown. And this song live was absolute bonkers. Like, just hearing it. So if you guys have never checked out that before, please do. It's amazing. My number 7 is an interesting one, because a lot of people, I don't even think, unless you're a true DGD fan, I don't know if you know it's there. This comes to us from the original Downtown Battle Mountain. This is Open Your Eyes and Look North. I love this song. It shows off Johnny's vocals, and I want to say some of the best ways. I don't think that when I originally listened to this album, I don't think I ever listened to this song, and I was like, well, that's weird. I thought I listened to every single track, and I immediately played it. It became one of my top Gavin Dance songs of all time. I can't say enough about it. Johnny's vocals on this, mixed with John's flagrant, absolute no regard for human life screams and Will's guitar play, make this one of the best songs off Downtown Battle Mountain. Jared, your thoughts on it? I mean, like, you gave me like a look at it.
See, I'm not the biggest out of replace that with surprise. I'm from Cuba. Everyone, has fun, but I don't know. I like it. It's just not,
It happens. I mean, some people like songs stick with others that, wouldn't. This is that one for me. Number 6. What do you got?
It's safe to say you dig the backseat off of Downtown Battle Mountain.
Ooh. So it's not one of my mostly played, but I do enjoy it. I don't know if I would ever put it in a top 10. I might put it in a top 15.
So it wouldn't be number 11?
No, bro, it's not at 11. I know that's where you're going. It's not at 11. It's not at 11.
Anytime he forgets one in the top 10, he's like, oh, that was number 11.
Get it. I mean, why? Like, it's
it's it takes you through a story of just post up in the back seat, like you're just kind of fucking up your whole life. It's about like a perspective wise. It's a woman who's just fucking around and like just sex, and it's like safe to say you dig the back seat. And
is this the one where he asks about the eye color? Or
no.
Okay.
That's off Downtown Batman Zoo.
Okay.
But no, it's
Making
just.
sure.
I mean, it's almost like a pause in this song, and he's just talking very melodically, and then it kicks right on back in. He's like, "Get the back seat."
I don't hate it. My number 6, we just touched base on it. My number 6 is Chucky versus the Giant Tortoise.
I love the name.
I would.
It is a great name, actually.
All these songs are greatly named, which is insane to say the least. But when I originally heard this track, I said this would be great for like an inner monologue battle with yourself. It's just like you're having one side that's just passive aggressive, like you're a piece, like kind of thing, and the other one's just like, no man, you're all right, but I'm also screaming at you. So it's kind of this like same vibrant morality, but is just one of the best opening tracks off an album that I could ever mention, and sits rightfully for me at number 6.
So that leads us to the top 5.
Then we get to the 5. I think you're muted, Jared. Good. Number 5.
No, I was cackling at a comment. It says because you love turtles humping Rugrats.
Humping and Rugrats.
Oh, humping and Rugrats. Oh, number 5 is Strawberry's Wake.
Oh, so this is interesting. Okay, so this is off of Afterburner. So go into detail.
There's like 2 to 3 total songs off that album that are worth anything in general. One being Prisoner, which is not in top 10. One being Lyrics Lie, also not top 10. And then you have Strawberry's Wake.
So the music video for this, guys, I want to take you.
Wild.
It's hilarious. They are on a plane, and Tim and Matt, the bassist and the drummer, are flying the plane, and they're drinking, they're smoking weed, and then you go to immediately like a soft Tillian vocal range where you see all the passengers in the plane, and one passenger has a toilet seat that's just on their head. I don't know why. I don't know
randomly
why.
on their head.
But it's just randomly. It's just like, and Tillian is like just looking out his window, and then all of a sudden you see John like, hey, just like outside the window, and then he's like the stewardess of this plane, and it's just absolute insanity with hilarity. And the lyrics are probably John's like most heartfelt because it's just a wonderful place. The one lyric that I always like mention for him is, I want you to matter to you, forget those backstabbers. You don't like hear lyrics from John like that much. And it hit me to a core with that. It's just like, oh, this is actually nice. It's not kind of, what people consider jibber jabber. Like it's nice.
There's a nice little nasty bass line in there too as well.
Oh yeah. Tim does phenomenal work on this, which if you want another group to look up, Wolf and Bear, Tim is the bassist of that group, who started off, quite frankly, as a DGD like fan group. They loved them so much that Tim was like, I can be your bassist. And they were like, yeah. So it kind of went from there. They actually opened that last concert that we were at, though, which you missed because you arrived, I don't know, like 2 bands too late. So it's fine.
I really want everyone for the record to know I was not in Pittsburgh when this thing happened. I actively live in Virginia. I really want to know who the hell he is talking about.
This is Wolf and Bear. They're phenomenal. I would look them up, man, for real.
No, not that. I was not at the concert.
Yeah.
Really.
He's talking about me.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'm talking about them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was like, if it's me, I was like, he keeps telling me I was at this concert.
No.
I was really confused. All right, dearest apologies.
My number 5 it might come as like a popularity thing, but this is quite frankly the best song off the Instant Gratification album, and it's We Own the Night.
Good song. I do know this one.
The range from when Tillian is just belting out vocals to John laying down screams underneath it. And then you notice this a lot of the times with Dance Gavin Dance songs, halfway through they'll just change. They'll change instrumentally, mentally, everything about it. It goes from like this very up and down mellow to this almost like very like, you know, you're like grooving at the club kind of thing. And it's just like you're like doing
Is that how you groove at the club, bud? Yeah, because I can totally see you doing that. Yeah, absolutely. Vibe, bud. I can see. Yeah. I like it.
It is by far, if you look on Spotify, it is their #1 track of just being listened to. I do think that at time it might have lost its, I want to say this in the best of terms, it might have lost its pleasure, but I really do believe that this is still the best song off that Instant Gratification album, and that's why for me it's #5.
Hot take, Austin.
It is. I know.
You're getting a lot of hate in the comments there, brother.
Oh, is it from you?
No. It's not.
So I
of it, yes.
will say there's variations. Awkward Shark Dad. Eagle versus Crow is
Stroke God.
Yeah, Stroke God Millionaire. I know there's a lot. I think when a lot of times this wouldn't be the song I would recommend as a first listen to. That would obviously anything off Mothership would be, but this would be maybe a close second, honestly. All right, you're #4, Jared.
And I told them I invented Times New Roman.
That's God, I love this song. So when I made this list, I really spoiler alert, this is not in my top 10, but this would honestly be number.
Please leave.
But this would be number 11. It is so
There it is.
It is wonderful in all the aspects that it has. I mean, just go into it, man. It's phenomenal.
It's killer. It has a mean breakdown at the end. Killer song title, first off. Mm-hmm. If you judge songs on song titles, you're like, how the hell did he invent Times New Roman? It's one of the ones that I consider actually has like a breakdown. And not just like John Hoot and Holler, but like an actual like, hey, I could probably push a motherfucker around and bump up to this, you know? It's hard, and it's like one of the first 3 to 4 songs off of Downtown Battle Mountain. Really sets the tone and helps the rest of the album.
You can't fault anything you just said, but it's really good. My #4 comes to us from the Afterburner album, and is by far the best vocal range that I've ever heard out of a human being, and that's saying something. #4 for me is 1 in a Million. The amount of vocal progression that Tillian went through to hit some of these notes is absolutely unreal. The video itself is absolutely hysterical. It's like all animated. It's like this bull that's like working as a boss of this company, and he's treating everybody like crap, and he just remembers like the old times where he was hanging out with his animal friends and they were just chilling and smoking weed and like living through life and doing drugs. And he goes and visits them and realizes all of the happy times that he had and stops being a piece of crap. So then he comes back, and a beautiful like lyric of hallelujah rains color onto all of the gray that is life. And it spoke to me not only in that just for musically, but it spoke to me like, you know, spiritually through life. And it's amazing. I will honestly follow this track for a lot of times, that it is an amazing, amazing vocal range of one amazing singer.
That leads us to the top 3 now.
Does.
Jared, what do you got for #3?
Top 3, Elder Goose coming in at #3 at Downtown Battle Mountain 2. Hard to beat Johnny on this one. Spoiler alert to Johnny all the way out. I don't know, just I know we're running short on time, but you know, he's just out here, literally out here fucking again. But I mean, he is like you look at the lyrics, you know, lay down, girl, let's play attack. You know, spread your leg, girl, let's play attack. Let's waste up our time. It's just beautifully done.
It is a great song off Downtown Battle Mountain 2. Again, just another track that not I listened to today, but I've listened to in the past couple of days. It's just wonderful. My number 3 comes to us from the Artificial Selection. This is the last track off their album. This is Evaporate. This song not only features Andrew in some of the best like vocal parts of this song, but they take various parts of different different Dance Gavin Dance lyrics at the end, and they mash together in this glorified Rubik's Cube that's trying to be shuffled, and the album simply ends with Tillian and John both saying the same line of "You got what you paid for," in a vocal range and a scream range, and it mixes so beautifully together that it gives you a blast from the past with also knowing its moderation. So for me, that is why it is number 3. And then we got the top 2, Jared.
Number 2, Blue Dream, easy money. Easy money, brother.
Again, I know, like, so I was going back and forth for putting like my song for Downtown Battle Mountain 2 on here, and it was between Blue Dream and Pounce Bounce, and Pounce Bounce just beat it out. But man, it's you're right, like it's just a wonderful, wonderful track.
It's killer, and it ends with the phone call of "What color are your eyes?"
Yep. It's like,
You
hey,
sure? All right, bye. Calls drunk as hell. What color are your eyes? Blue. You sure? Yeah. All right. Hangs up.
Just ends. My number 2, the best song off Downtown Battle Mountain. This is Lemon Meringue Tie. Just the way of how these vocals go, the guitar progression, John screams, the drums, everything fits in this. You know, and if someone was like, well, what song should I listen to off this album? This is 100% what I would do, what I would give them. Like, it's just beautiful. That's all I can say.
So
leads
us to number 1.
Number 1 is Lemon Meringue Tie. No doubt. No questions asked.
So it seems like you guys agree with the top 2 there.
I would say, well,
flip-flop them a little bit.
Flip-flop, yeah. My 2 and his 1, I get it. But number 1 for me, their top song in my mind of all time, Tillian's range, John screams, the lyricism, how it changes. Number 1 from Mothership, Inspire the Liars. 100%. There's videos of people in rabbit suits that are being put into a cage. John is eating a martini glass. They're throwing these there it goes from this to a cartoon where they're throwing these bunnies into the symbolism of Mothership into the sky. It's just wonderful. It is by far the number 1 song from Dance Gavin Dance, in my honest opinion.
I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know. I also felt that didn't know if you would try to represent one song from every album.
I wanted to,
and I couldn't justify it. I am thankful that you did not put Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most. That is the only song I'll give credit for. It's the only one I'll vibe with him with, but.
Yeah, I get it, man. I mean, I wanted to put it on here, but I was like,
I couldn't do some of them out of popularity, such as Inspire the Liars, on all my lists, on all the other cross-reference lists that was on there. I just could not bring myself to do it.
I got you. But you know the rules at this point, folks. We'll put all of these on social, and you will vote of Who had the best ranking? Was it Jared? Did he dethrone the crown?
400 says yes.
Will it be me as always? If Bo tries to talk over me in the background, suck of crap. Let Jared cut the dub. Yeah.
That's two votes. We will post them on Instagram. So
I'll be expecting the crown in the mail, Austin.
That won't happen, but I appreciate it.
It's glued to his head.
Jared, thank you again for being on tonight. I know you love this band as much as I do, and I'm trying to get more people involved in it. Vo, check this band out. Greg, I know you haven't looked through the discography. I know you're here and there about it. Check them out. I know more, man. It's wonderful. But until then, again, Jared, thank you for being on. Thank you
anytime
for all and free young Mayo.
Let the homie out. Let him out. Drop a new single, Mayo, if you're hearing this.
Until then, check us out Tuesday, 6:30 every week on Twitch. And I would say, Greg, to find the gavel, but I don't even know if Bo has the gavel.
Ask the right person.
Right here. It's going to be hard to do this all at once.
Court is adjourned.
I missed it.
Court is adjourned.